Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Bites podcast, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Emma.
And I'm Harry. We are so happy you're here with us today. This is the place for friendly, easy English conversations.
Yes, we want to help you feel confident and comfortable speaking English. And Harry, today's topic is one that I think almost every single English learner faces at some point. It's a big one that affects how much people use the language.
It really is, Emma. It's the silent struggle that holds so many people back, often for years. We're talking about the fear of speaking English. That moment when you know the words perfectly well, maybe you even wrote them down a minute ago, but your mouth just stops or you choose to stay silent.
Exactly. Our topic today is perfect English is the enemy. Why mistakes make you fluent. Now, that might sound a little bit controversial. Perfect English is the enemy? Don't worry. We will explain it in very simple English. It's not about hating perfection. It's about realizing that waiting for perfection is the thing that stops progress.
So, if your heart beats fast when someone asks you a simple question in English, if you prepare beautiful, detailed sentences in your head, but they never come out, or if you find yourself nodding and smiling just to avoid having to speak, this episode is for you. And you are definitely not alone. This is probably the biggest barrier for intermediate learners who know a lot of grammar but struggle with output.
Many people feel this way. It's a natural human response to wanting to do things well. But with language, waiting for perfection can actually freeze you. It's time to realize that fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being effective. So let's learn some simple ways to feel braver, speak more, and truly become fluent.
Let's start by defining this problem, Emma. What is this intense fear of speaking English?
Well, Harry, it's much more than just shyness, though shyness can definitely be a part of it. It's often a very specific anxiety related to language performance. It's the feeling that if you open your mouth, you will make a huge mistake. People will judge your intelligence. Or, and this is a big one, they simply won't understand you, and you'll have to repeat yourself many times.
Yes, it's that powerful internal voice, right? The one that is constantly self-correcting you before you even start talking. It says, no, don't say gone there. You need to use the present perfect. Or you sound silly because you don't have the right accent. And so you choose safety and you stay silent.
Exactly. And this fear often comes from a desire for absolute perfection. We spend so much time learning the rules, practicing isolated verbs, and we want our spoken English to sound exactly like a podcast or a native speaker on TV. But real, messy, fast-paced conversation is not a textbook.
That's a great point. I've heard learners say things like, I'm afraid I'll use the wrong tense and confuse everyone, or what if I can't find the right word in the middle of a sentence? They're focused too much on the rules and the form, and not nearly enough on the message and the connection.
And it's a terrible trap, isn't it? The more you worry about making a mistake, the less you speak. And the less you speak, the less practice you get, and the less confident you become. It's a vicious cycle, a repeating problem that makes itself worse. So this fear actually prevents the very thing you want to achieve, speaking English fluently.
Let's look at some common thinking mistakes, the negative thought patterns that keep us quiet. What's the first one that comes to mind for you, Emma?
For me, it's the core belief that mistakes are bad. Many learners truly believe that making a grammatical mistake means they are failing the English language, or that they are somehow less intelligent because they made an error.
That's so damaging, and it's simply not true.
But think about it, Emma. Do you make mistakes in your native language sometimes? I know I do.
Oh, absolutely, Harry, all the time. I'll stumble over words, forget a name, or accidentally say one word when I mean another, especially when I'm tired. It happens to everyone, even teachers.
Exactly. So why do we hold ourselves to this impossible standard? Why do we expect perfection from ourselves in a second language when we don't even achieve it in our first? Mistakes are not failure. They are feedback. They are like little arrows telling you exactly where your brain needs more practice. They are a natural and necessary part of learning.
That leads perfectly into the second thinking mistake, waiting for perfection. Learners often say, I will speak when my English is perfect.
But Emma, when will that magical day arrive? Is anyone's English ever truly perfect? Language is always changing.
Probably not. It's like saying, I will learn to swim when I can swim perfectly. You can't learn to swim without getting in the water and splashing around a bit. And you can't learn to speak without opening your mouth and making some noise.
Right, you have to jump in. The water might be cold at first, you might swallow a little water, but that's the only way your body adapts. And the third common fear is thinking everyone is judging me. People often feel like every native speaker is listening carefully, ready to correct them or laugh at their funny accent.
That's a very powerful and isolating fear. But from my experience, and yours, Harry, as someone who talks to learners and native speakers all the time, I can tell you something important. Most people are not judging you.
They're usually doing one of two things. They're impressed that you're speaking another language at all, or they're just trying to understand your message. They want to connect.
And if they do correct you, which is rare in a casual setting, it's usually just to help you, not to criticize. It means they value the conversation enough to want to understand you clearly.
Let's move on to the solution side now, Emma. Let's look at some specific situations where this fear comes up and what you can say to buy yourself time and feel more in control.
Great idea. Let's start with a common one. In a social situation or small talk, someone asks, "What do you do for work?" And suddenly you forget the word engineer.
This is when the brain panic begins. You freeze. Instead of panicking, use a phrase to bridge the gap. Say, "One moment, please," or "Bear with me. I'm trying to find the right word."
Oh, bear with me is excellent. It means, please be patient with me. It's polite and gives your brain 3 to 5 seconds to remember engineer. It's an instant confidence booster because you haven't stayed silent.
Let's try that. Emma, you're the stranger asking a tough question. I'm the learner.
So, Harry, tell me, what was the most challenging project you worked on this year?
Bear with me. It was very difficult. It involved figuring out a new system. Yes, figuring out the whole software.
Fantastic! You communicated perfectly. You used a great phrasal verb, figuring out, and you gave yourself permission to pause. That's fluency.
Another tough situation is when a native speaker speaks too fast. You feel lost, and your first reaction is to nod and pretend you understood everything.
Yes, don't nod. Nodding is the enemy here. Instead, you need phrases to show them you are engaged, but need them to slow down. Say, could you possibly slow down just a little bit? Or, I'm sorry, could you say that again in a different way?
The phrase "in a different way" is brilliant. It tells the speaker that you understood some words, but the way they explained it was too complex. They'll likely use simpler vocabulary, which helps you both.
So, what if you are still very nervous? What can you do to feel more comfortable and push past this deep-seated fear?
We need some actionable tips for the long term. Tip number 1, focus 100% on the message and 0% on the grammar.
If you get your idea across, you won. Don't worry about the past continuous. Worry about telling the story.
Yes, your ultimate goal is to connect, not to be a living dictionary. The grammar is a tool. Communication is the goal. Tip number 2, set tiny, achievable goals.
This is so important. Instead of the scary goal, I will speak English perfectly for 1 hour today, try, I will say hello and thank you to the cashier in English today. Or, I will use one new adjective in my conversation today.
Small victories build confidence. You are not trying to climb a mountain in one jump. You are taking many small, successful steps.
Tip number 3, schedule mistake time. Literally say to yourself, okay, I'm going to speak English for 10 minutes and I'm going to try to make 5 mistakes. By setting the goal to make mistakes, you remove the fear of them. You start hunting for them and they lose their power.
That's a powerful psychological trick, Harry. And tip number 4, use external tools to practice. Try recording yourself speaking for 30 seconds on your phone. Don't worry about errors. Listen back. It helps you get used to the sound of your own voice in English and removes the surprise factor when you speak to others.
That's valuable. And finally, tip number 5, which is an overall mindset shift. Think of mistakes as data. Every single time you make a mistake, don't think, I failed. Think, that's interesting. That's a piece of information I needed. Now I know something new to learn for next time. It moves the error from being a judgment to being a helpful guide.
Yes, mistakes are data. That's brilliant. It means you're collecting information to get better. It's not a personal flaw. It's a step on the map to fluency.
Okay, we have given you a lot of information and many phrases. Let's do a quick final recap. Let's practice some of these essential confidence-boosting phrases one last time.
Great idea. We'll say the phrase slowly, then leave a space for you to repeat it out loud. Ready, Harry?
Ready.
First, for buying time, let me think.
Bear with me.
Excellent. Now, for asking for help, could you slow down?
Say that in a different way.
Now for the final mindset shift. Focus on progress.
Mistakes are data.
Wonderful. You are doing great. Remember these phrases. You can write them in a notebook. Practice them every day.
Yes, practice makes progress, not perfection. You don't need to be perfect. Just try. Every small conversation, every brave attempt is a big victory against the fear.
So that's all for our main topic today. We hope you feel much better about the fear of speaking English. Remember, it's a normal feeling, and you can manage it with these simple English phrases and a shift in your powerful mindset.
We believe in you. Now it's time to close our show.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening to the English Bites podcast. If you liked this episode, please tell a friend.
Yes, and please help us grow. You can subscribe to our channel on your favorite podcast app. That way, you never miss an episode.
If you are on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, hit the like button, and we love to read your comments. You can write to us. Tell us about a time you felt nervous speaking English, or tell us about a small victory you had where you spoke up and conquered bad fear. We read every comment and we love to hear from you.
Your English journey is important to us. Remember, every big journey starts with a small step, and every fluent speaker started with many, many mistakes.
So keep practicing your English every day, even for 5 minutes. Take that small risk. You can do it.
We'll be back next week with another everyday English conversation. Until then,
Keep learning and keep smiling. Goodbye.